Vietnam is a country of striking contrasts: lush rice paddies, vibrant cities, and world-renowned cuisine. From the misty mountains of the north to the fertile Mekong Delta in the south, its landscapes are as diverse as its people. The energy of its cities pulses day and night, while the countryside offers a slower, timeless rhythm. Tourists are drawn to its ancient temples, where centuries-old traditions are still alive, and the architecture tells stories of dynasties long past. They flock to its golden beaches and explore a rich history that stretches from imperial palaces to colonial landmarks. Many leave with memories of warmth and beauty, touched by the hospitality of the Vietnamese people and the breathtaking scenery. But beyond the travel brochures lies another Vietnam, one that is rarely seen by visitors. This is a nation still grappling with the hidden costs of rapid development. Skyscrapers rise where rice fields once stood, and the pace of change is relentless. Environmental damage threatens the very landscapes that attract visitors. Rivers and coastlines, once pristine, now face pollution and overuse. The scars of war linger, affecting lives decades later. Generations still bear the physical and emotional wounds of conflict. Economic progress has left some behind, struggling with poverty and limited opportunity. In rural areas, families work hard just to get by, and children often face uncertain futures. These realities rarely make it onto postcards or glossy travel magazines. To truly understand Vietnam, we must look beyond the surface, beyond the curated images and tourist trails. It's about seeing the full picture, both the triumphs and the challenges, the joy and the hardship that coexist here. In this report, we'll pull back the curtain. We'll explore environmental crises, the legacy of war, and social inequalities that shape daily life for millions. By understanding these hidden shadows, we gain a more honest view of this resilient nation, a country that continues to rebuild and reinvent itself. This is not just a story of struggle but also of strength, hope, and the enduring spirit of the Vietnamese people. Vietnam's beauty is real, but so are its challenges. Let's look deeper and discover the true complexity of this remarkable country. Vietnam's economic boom has transformed the nation, turning once quiet towns into bustling cities and lifting millions out of poverty. Skyscrapers now rise above ancient streets, and the hum of industry is everywhere. But this rapid development has come at a steep environmental cost, casting a shadow over the country's remarkable progress. Cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City now battle choking air pollution from traffic and factories. Smog often blankets the skyline, making it difficult to breathe and posing serious health risks for millions of residents. Rivers, once lifelines for communities, are polluted by industrial waste and agricultural runoff, threatening both livelihoods and health. Fish population dwindle. When clean water becomes harder to find. The Mekong Delta, Vietnam's rice bowl, faces pollution damming and rising seas, putting food security at risk. Farmers struggle as saltwater intrusion and contaminated water disrupt harvests. Deforestation for timber and agriculture erodes soil and destroys habitats for rare species. Ancient forests are disappearing, taking with them unique plants and animals found nowhere else. Illegal logging and corruption undermine reforestation efforts, making it difficult to restore what's been lost and protect what remains. Plastic waste is everywhere. Vietnam is among the world's top contributors to ocean plastic pollution. Beaches and rivers are choked with discarded bottles, bags, and packaging. Single-use plastics flood markets and streets with little effective waste management. The convenience of plastic comes at a high price for the environment. Much of this plastic ends up in rivers and oceans, harming marine life and entering the food chain. Sea turtles, fish, and birds mistake plastic for food, with deadly consequences. Efforts to reduce plastic use and promote recycling are growing, with community cleanups and new policies, but they face major challenges in changing habits and building infrastructure. The natural beauty that defines Vietnam is under threat. Iconic landscapes are at risk of being lost to pollution and unchecked development. The cost of progress is visible in the air, water, and forests. Every step forward brings new challenges for the environment. The question remains, can growth and sustainability coexist, or will the price of progress be too high for future generations? The Vietnam War ended in 1975, but its dangers persist. Decades have passed since the last shots were fired, yet the echoes of conflict still haunt the land and its people. Millions of unexploded bombs and landmines remain hidden beneath the soil, scattered across fields, forests, and even near villages, especially in central Vietnam, where the fighting was most intense. For farmers and children, the threat is a part of daily life. Every step in a rice paddy or a game in the grass carries the risk of tragedy. One wrong move can change everything in an instant. Over 100,000 people have been killed or injured by these hidden explosives since the war's end. Survivors often face lifelong disabilities, and families are left to cope with unimaginable loss. Clearing these deadly remnants is painstaking, dangerous, and costly. Each bomb must be found and removed by hand, a process that could take another century to complete at the current pace. Vast areas of land remain off-limits, marked by warning signs and left unused. This contamination traps entire communities in poverty, limiting their ability to farm, build, or grow. The psychological toll is immense. Fear and anxiety shadow daily life. Parents worry for their children, and every day brings uncertainty. Organizations and local heroes work tirelessly to clear bombs and educate communities about safety. Yet the scale of the problem is overwhelming, and resources are limited. Every bomb removed is a life saved, a field reclaimed, and a step toward healing. But the threat still lingers, and the work is far from over. The war's legacy is not just history, it's a daily reality for millions, shaping where they live, work, and play. Progress is slow, but hope persists. Communities come together to rebuild, determined to create a safer future for the next generation. The scars of conflict shape lives long after the fighting stops, leaving both visible and invisible wounds that endure for generations. Vietnam's future depends on healing these wounds, restoring land, supporting survivors, and educating the young. The world must not forget. Only by remembering and acting can we help Vietnam finally move beyond the shadow of war. Agent Orange, a toxic legacy of war, still haunts Vietnam. Millions of gallons were sprayed, contaminating soil and water with deadly dioxin. Decades later, birth defects, cancers, and disabilities persist, passed down through generations. Families struggle to care for children born with severe health issues. Special centers offer support, but resources are stretched thin. The U.S. has only recently begun cleanup efforts. For many, justice is still out of reach. The suffering is quiet, but profound. Agent Orange's impact is a stark lesson in the long-term cost of war. Its effects are found not in museums, but in everyday lives. The poison endures, shaping Vietnam's present. Vietnam's fight against poverty is impressive, but inequality remains. The gap between rich and poor is widening, especially between urban elites and rural communities. Ethnic minorities in remote regions face the greatest challenges: limited access to education, healthcare, and opportunity. Many rely on subsistence farming on degraded land, trapped in cycles of poverty. Child labor is a harsh reality. Children work instead of attending school, risking exploitation. Human trafficking preys on the vulnerable, luring women and girls with false promises. Victims are sold into forced labor or exploitation, often across borders. The government and NGOs fight these issues, but progress is slow. Poverty's consequences are hidden but devastating. Behind the statistics are real lives, children, families, and communities struggling for a better future. Inequality is not just economic, it's a daily struggle for dignity. The journey out of poverty is far from over. Vietnam's economic openness hasn't brought political freedom. The Communist Party controls all aspects of society, media, internet, and public discourse. Dissent is silenced. Critics face arrest and long prison terms. The internet is monitored, and content deemed toxic is swiftly removed. Religious groups, especially unregistered ones, face harassment and surveillance. Human rights challenges are largely invisible to tourists, but ever present for locals. Fear shapes what people say, even in private. The price of stability is a lack of freedom. This hidden reality defines much of modern Vietnamese life. Tourism is vital to Vietnam's economy, but it presents a curated image. Visitors see beauty, culture, and comfort, rarely the pollution, poverty, or hardship nearby. Guided tours avoid troubled areas. Guides focus on positive stories. The struggles of ordinary people are kept out of sight. Many tourists leave with only a surface understanding. Mass tourism can unintentionally hide problems and commodify local cultures. The benefits of tourism often bypass the poorest communities. The real Vietnam is more complex than the travel brochures suggest. Seeing only the highlights means missing the deeper story. True understanding requires looking beyond the postcard. Behind every statistic is a human story. Tron, a farmer, risks his life daily in fields still littered with unexploded bombs. His children can't play freely, the war's shadow shapes their lives. Mai, a mother near Da Nang, cares for her disabled son, a victim of Agent Orange. Her family struggles to afford medical care, facing a future of uncertainty. Lin, a 14-year-old in Ho Chi Minh City, sells lottery tickets instead of attending school. Her dreams of becoming a teacher fade under the weight of poverty. Hung, a once outspoken blogger, was imprisoned for his activism. Now free, he remains silent, fearing for his family's safety. These stories reveal the hidden costs of progress and conflict. They are reminders that Vietnam's challenges are lived, not just reported. Personal voices bring the nation's struggles into sharp focus. Understanding begins with listening. Vietnam's resilience is undeniable, but so are its challenges. Acknowledging the shadows does not diminish its beauty, it deepens our respect. Understanding hidden issues matters for those still suffering from war, poverty, and repression. Awareness can inspire responsible tourism and meaningful support. Knowledge fosters empathy and a more honest connection. Behind the statistics are real people, facing real struggles. By looking closer, we become thoughtful observers, not just tourists. Vietnam's journey is ongoing. Its people's strength is its greatest asset. The full picture, light and shadow, reveals the nation's true depth. We stand in solidarity with those working for a better future. Let's remember Vietnam for all that it is. Remarkable, resilient, and real.